have such sights to show you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Four Dead Losers podcast. We are three of the Four Dead Losers. I'm Ramito.
Adam.
Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about Drag Me to Hell. Ooh, spooky. Jordan, not spoiler thoughts, this was your pick. What'd you think of the movie?
Oh, I feel like I gotta hold in my laugh. Sorry. I felt nervous. So this is one of the few movies that I feel like I really remember from my childhood, which, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it holds a special place in my heart. This was probably the first time I'd watched it in like 10 years. It's one of those movies that I was kind of scared to rewatch because of the like nostalgia I have with it. That, I don't know. I knew it would bring back old feelings, and it's also just like this feeling of wanting to like it when you rewatch it and wanting it to be good is like you remember it being. But yeah, I think it's a funny movie. I appreciate it for what it is. It's very heavy on the slapstick. It's a Sam Raimi movie, so I feel like if you know it's a Sam Raimi movie, you kind of know what to expect. I'm not saying whether or not like that makes the plot good or bad, but I feel like it is the right amount of over the top that you would expect from him. All in all, I mean, it comes across as a good like satire, especially for the time, like being the late 2000s. I feel like it definitely feels like a late 2000s horror movie. But yeah, in general, I really like it. Not a perfect movie by any means. Probably not as good as I remembered it being or as I wanted it to be. I went in and I wanted it to be a 10 so bad. And it's not a 10, I can tell you that. But yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed it. I think it has I think it's worth watching in that I feel like it has some redeeming qualities. Like if you could go back over Sam Raimi's filmography, I don't think I would delete this movie from it. I think it's still a pro. But yeah, I've kind of struggled with the score. I'm going to say a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10.
Which is probably still the highest that it's going to get from this table. That's low for me, so.
Adam, not spoiler thoughts, what'd you think of the movie?
I too have like mixed feelings about it going in because I remember watching it in theaters and I remember disliking it. And again, this is coming from someone that, again, I love Sam Raimi movies. I love the Evil Dead. I love the Spider-Man, all the different ones that he's come out with. Like, he's a pretty good director. And going in and actually going back and watching it, not for this, it's even worse than I was thinking. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, it brought up, and I brought this up to Mito, was I think it's because I repressed how bad the 2000s were for horror just in general. Like,
it's definitely 2000s horror.
Like, if we're being 100% honest, like I just looked it up before we started, like the IMDb top 100, like just horror movies, and I'm trying to think, okay, what were like the standout hits that like, okay, people can like get after. So the first one is The Orphanage, which is, I think it was a foreign movie. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Battle Royale, which was exactly 2000, but foreign movie, not current. Let the Right One In. I've heard that's good. I haven't watched it. And then you have Ju-on, which is basically the Grudge, but the Japanese version. So you're getting a lot of like the other movies from outside of just like Hollywood, which a lot of people maybe didn't get to see because movies were there, but like that wasn't as big still then.
We didn't have streaming.
Didn't have streaming back then. The Audition, which I've heard is pretty good. Pan's Labyrinth.
I really like that movie.
Okay,
I really like that movie.
Number 7. And again, this is, I mean, you to think this is like out of all those.
2004 is pretty bad.
Saw. Like, that's the first one. I'm like, okay, I recognize that.
Yeah.
The Devil's Backbone. REC, Record.
Oh, that one's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. I want you to remember that because I was listening. And then number 10, there's more. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, which that was like the reboot, which I thought was okay.
So consider this movie in that context.
Yeah.
How many movies on that list is this better than? At least 5 of them.
It still doesn't make the list.
No. First of all, I didn't make the top 10. 28 Days Later supposedly beat it. So did American Psycho, which I've heard is good.
It is
Session
good.
9. Final Destination was 20. Think about that. Final
That's kinda
Destination.
The first one?
The first one
This-
was 20.
This movie has a 90 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and like a 60 audience, and I do think that the audience score is probably closer to what
What it is. Yeah, and again, I don't want to go off too because we're gonna derail. But I looked it up because I was like I feel like I remember it not being very well liked. But I guess at some point there was a resurgence of people that were like, yeah, no, this was great. You just don't understand movies because of all this stuff. And it's you don't understand. You've never you just don't understand Sam Raimi. It's I've seen The Evil Dead. I like that. I just didn't feel like this was it. It has shades of it, but it's not it. So
it definitely has. I feel like the modern perspective on it is different than when it came out.
I think this one it aged like milk. I think the biggest thing that took me out of it was a lot of the really bad CGI. There's a lot of really bad 3D effects. This was still when the 3D plague was happening in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Where every movie felt the need that was necessary. It was awful. And it does not come across well. First of all, I didn't come across well as a 3D movie anyways, but to looking now on a 2D surface and these 3D movies, doing the 3D effects, it's just so dumb. But anyways, so yeah, there were some redeeming qualities. Again, there was some moments. I think that the storyline, the bare bones essence of the movie, the script, I think the plot was there. And I think that, there was some cool moments and memorable moments. Now, were they memorable for all the right reasons? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think that all in all, it was just, it just didn't sit well with me. I gave it, looking back now, second viewing of it, a 5 out of 10.
It's higher than I thought.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. It's not as bad as some of the other ones we've seen, but it definitely wasn't great. Again, I can't completely poo-poo on it because again, it's a product of its time. I think is the other thing we have to remember because I think Evil Dead worked because of the time and some of the effects and things, but I thought it was and I thought Bruce was good, and it was just well done. The effects and things played well. Here it was nah. So I don't know. That was how I felt.
Not spoiler thoughts for myself. I didn't really like this movie either. I'm sorry, Jordan. I basically have to agree with what a lot of Adam said. The only other thing I would guess that I guess I would put in was some of the slapstick humor didn't really sit with me. You know what I mean? But I'm just a Debbie Downer when it comes to that stuff. I don't like comedy movies.
You like Army of Darkness?
I do like Army
But I
of
feel like
Darkness.
Bruce carries a lot of that, and you also kind of I feel like it is just an Evil Dead thing to have that. And yeah, I just feel like some of this, I don't know if it's because of the actors or what. I don't know, a 7.5 for me, that's me being really nostalgic and heavy weighted with it. So, yeah, there's probably 30 movies that have come out in the last 4 or 5 years that are better than this movie.
Yeah, I think
probably
it's
more.
definitely
Definitely not a standout by any means.
I can agree with people. It's a fun movie. It has if you just hey, let's just watch it because it's.
I was 7 when I saw this movie.
It's it's ridiculous. Okay, but that makes not a great movie. Doesn't necessarily make it great.
So in the interest of time, I'll just go ahead and say that for myself, I'll give this movie a 4 out of 10.
Better than Nosferatu. That's the one time I'll take it.
So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We really appreciate it. But until then, this is going to be your spoiler warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bang. So the movie basically opens up with a title card. We're in Pasadena in 1969. We have this truck that pulls up to this mansion or something like that. And they have a son. It's a couple, husband and wife, and their son is sick, but they don't know what he's sick with. So they go to this house, they knock on the door, and they basically ask they ask for help. For the person who lives there, who's a medium, and I think her name is Sean, right?
Something like that.
I have it written down later in my notes, but I'm pretty sure her name is Sean.
Yeah, I don't recall.
So they go inside and they're basically doing all the prep stuff, right, for the ritual. She sees that the evil spirit is inside of him, and they're going to cast it out. But I think they show like from the little boy's perspective, and he's like laying on the table, right? And you can see all that shadow hands on the stained glass, which I did like the way that they did that. Where he's going over the city.
Yeah.
I did like that. There were some moments in this movie where I was like, you know what, I like that idea. You know what I mean? Especially like some shadow play stuff we'll get into later. But they start the ritual, everything starts going haywire. I think like there's an invisible force that blows open the doors, right? So again, bringing up the Evil Dead, the invisible whatever it is, showing up, and then I think it like beats the crap out of the mom, right? Like you hear like the slap noise.
This really kills like any expectation of seriousness for the movie. Like it really starts off with this.
You're right.
Absurd.
So then the little boy basically gets thrown off of the table that he's on. He's like starts running away. They're at like a banister or something, and he falls off the banister. The medium goes, and she's looking over, and then that's when we see the little boy get dragged to hell.
Wasn't he like Peter Griffin first on the ground?
Yes, like
I thought he was dead or something.
Yeah.
So I basically got in 2 full watches before we filmed this. This felt a lot better the second time. The first time I watched it, when I first saw the CGI and not remembering what it looked like, it's a little tough. It's definitely 2000s.
Yeah, the CGI wasn't.
I could have done with that.
It was very bad. Like I feel like the shadow was okay, but like there was some things that could have been more practical, I guess.
Yeah. And then we get the title card, Drag Me to Hell, and we have the opening credits. So in the opening credits, I do like how they explain what's going on in the opening credits. So basically, what we learn is that there's somebody who puts a curse on you, and then from there you have 3 days. After the 3 days are up, you get dragged to hell.
Yeah, not a lot of movies do like intros like this anymore.
Do you think The Strangers did with the definition of a serial killer?
It's
like put the credits in the intro.
Well, that was the thing too. Like, I guess I get what you're saying, but it just feels like a very like, and I feel like weird saying it because other movies have done it that we watched and we said it was okay, but like, it just seems like a really quick like, here's a lore dump, but like, here you go, like that's it. Like
I mean, Act 2.
Yeah, it's like okay.
I think that's a fair thing because it's happening in the background. Like I understand the critique of it, where it's something like Late Night with the Devil like puts full attention to explaining how we got here. It's hard, I think, because the lore doesn't really have. Is there anything to explain? I guess is the question.
Yeah, I so from what I kind of researching a little bit, like so what I had gathered was supposedly this script was already made like pre-Spider-Man. Like this was like 10 years in the making before they actually made it. And so him and I guess his brother.
I thought it was his wife.
No, I think him and his brother. I
Ted?
think. Yeah, I think they like co-wrote it, and essentially like. I mean, the one of the things that I think people really gravitate towards was, again, the plot. Like, just the simplistic version of the plot is like it's a tale of like, essentially this, a person making a poor decision and then having to pay the consequences for this decision, even if they're like good-spirited or whatever, right? Because we find out from the kid that the reason this entity is chasing him is because he stole a necklace or something from she's like, where'd you get this necklace? And she's like, I stole it from this caravan of nomadic people, Romani people, and so so she kind of figured, okay, so it's cursed, and so that's this whole premise of this movie is that like, it's morality, right? Like you make one moral wrong choice and now you're suffering all these grave consequences, whether you like deserve it or not, like you're suffering all these consequences. So it's a very simple plot. I think it's like one of those, like this could have been a short story that they wrote and they just expanded on it and made it into an hour-and-a-half long movie, so, but yeah, very interesting kind of plot. I think that's why they kind of did the lore dump, because like, man, we don't have to go through all this. Let's just go ahead and just put it in the intro and just call it.
I mean, they kind of rewrote
up anyways.
Yeah, it is a lore dump anyways.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I do agree. I like the intro. Like, I like the like 3 curses thing and the illustrations and stuff. But had they not put the intro in, I mean, it basically gets re-explained by the guy later on. So
right. Yeah. So then after the title card, after the opening credits, we jump to present day and we're following Christine. She's going to be the protagonist to the movie, and she basically goes to work, right? She's working at a bank. She's up for promotion. Her and I guess her
Some
work
newer
rival.
guy. Yeah, it's like some newer guy they brought in.
His name is Stu.
I'm pretty sure she's. I didn't like. There are probably one or two occasions she's not, but I'm pretty sure she's in every scene. I was reading that they purposely tried to keep her in every scene. I don't know if there's a scene without her in it.
Who's she talking about the main character?
Yeah. Like there's never any like branch off away from her throughout the whole movie.
I mean, for the most part,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you're right.
For better or worse.
Yeah. So then we get like a sense of her work life, right? Where like she's asking her boss about this promotion and she's up for it, but then he's like, well, I might also give it to Stu. And then like she's like, okay. And then he tells her, he tells her, why don't you go take your lunch early? Oh, and while you're out, buy me a sandwich. And then Stu is like, hey, buy me one too.
Yeah, and he even tells her like, yeah, can you train him on this thing? So it's basically like, hey, you're both up for this promotion, even though he's barely been there. It's like, hey, also train him to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're gonna give somebody a promotion, you're having them train them to like be your boss. Like it's like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's that 2000s misogyny right
Yeah,
there.
it's crazy work.
And then we jump to Christine at a university. She's having lunch with Clay, who's played by your goat.
There's
Justin
the
Long.
barbarian savior.
People literally said, I kid you not, on Reddit were like, man, this is like, he was so great in this movie. I'm like,
I love Justin
I'm
Long.
like, what do you mean? He didn't do anything. It's the same. He's done the same thing in Barbarian. He's done the same thing in this. He hasn't done anything. He just talks. That's like he just says lines and he's Justin Long.
He's a charismatic
No,
guy.
so it was like, no, he definitely, this is some of his best work. I go, that's like telling me
Well, that might be true. It
No,
might
they
be
said,
some-
I was like, that's like saying, somebody said, hey man, this is Vin Diesel's best work for any of the freaking Fast and Furious movies. Like, that's insane. It's the same character. And it's just, he's Vin Diesel in every movie. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Again, he has his
He's
own.
young in this movie.
He looks the same still. He hasn't aged. He's a vampire. He's Illuminati if anything.
Illuminati.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know. That was you were saying your boy Justin. Like people, they gravitated. Like, oh man, Justin Long.
I like him.
Like, didn't you like him in Jeepers Creepers? I'm like, does it matter? Like,
Was he the best part of Barbarian? Is the question.
I hated that movie.
But was he the best part of it?
There was no best part of that movie.
Oh,
The best part of that movie when it ended. That was the best part.
Credits?
The late credits. Because then I could say, you know what, I can go home now. Continue.
So they're just basically conversing. I think in this scene, Christine gives Clay a coin, right? Because he's a nerd who collects coins.
He collects coins from like specific special years or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was
Outer Mint. It's Outer Mint years. Like,
yes, yeah. Because he's a nerd. We say surrounded by our Magic the Gathering cards. And then she's like, okay, cool, I gotta go.
And he puts it in an envelope, which...
Yes, he does put it in an envelope.
For some reason.
And then he basically gets a phone call from his mom basically saying that Christine isn't like the best partner, right? That he should be looking for something else.
Isn't he like on speakerphone?
Yeah.
Like, what
And
is
it's really
She just
loud.
walked out of the room and he's like...
speakerphone?
And it's like really loud.
It's
Because
like,
not only can you hear it from like, down the hall, but you can hear it from down the hall.
I was like, I wasn't like, yeah, you should be dating this other girl or whatever. Like, I think she's nice. You should meet and hang out. Like, what?
So then we jump back to the bank, and Stu is complaining that Christine got the order wrong, and like from here it's just like bullying, right? Like, no, I'm pretty sure I told you no mayo.
He's just gaslighting her.
Exactly.
The whole time.
He's an ass. I don't like this guy.
I don't blame you. And then we basically jump back to Christine at her desk. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention that Stu also gives the boss Laker tickets. So he's kind of trying to buy this promotion. Yeah.
Which, it was emphasized, like, in the first interaction before she gets sent off that, like, essentially she needs to do better making tough decisions. Or
Right.
Just, like, the whole preface.
But it's like, I mean, he does a pretty good job, like, with the directing to, like, make it pretty emphasized that, like, she's, even if she does nothing or doesn't change anything, she's gonna probably be out of the running, even though she's probably the better candidate. It's just
Right.
Yeah.
he's just kind of like
She's not a bro.
Yeah, she's not a bro, exactly. So then we jump to Christine at her desk, and she's helping out a Romani woman who we learned is Mrs. Ganache.
Ganache.
Right, she had her nails clinking on the desk.
She did.
I remember that part. And the you shame me part. So good. 8 out of 10. No, I'm kidding.
8 out of 10. So basically what's happening here is that this poor woman's property is going to be seized right by the bank because she's behind on her payments.
She wants an extension on her loan.
Mm-hmm. And I think at this point she's already received 2 extensions.
Yes.
And so Christine is like, okay, well let me go talk to my boss to see what we can do, right?
We see throughout the span of this movie a lot of this woman's inner fluid.
We do.
Things that should not be outside of her body.
She's like coughing in the thing.
She like takes her
dentures
like,
out,
drooling,
and takes it and puts it on the desk.
So you eat the hard candy, right?
Yeah.
before she steals them.
So then Christine goes to talk to the boss, and the boss is basically like, hey, yo, it's pretty much your decision at this point.
And he's like, I trust you. And like, you do what you need to do. And then kind of emphasizing like, don't give her this love.
Yeah, basically.
So then Christine goes back to Miss Ganache, and she's basically like, hey, bud, I'm sorry, we can't give you the extension. And she's not taking the news very well, to the point where like Christine's like, sorry, there's nothing I can do. Miss Ganache gets up and starts to walk away, then turns around, comes back, and then basically gets on her knees.
Begging,
starts
begging.
For another chance.
This poor elderly lady.
Yeah. And Christine's like, sorry, bud, no, I can't. And she tries to help her up, right? And then that's when she starts to attack.
Yeah,
or
she like grabs her and like is yanking her and pulling her, and she's like,
not letting go.
Yeah, she's like, security.
Oh yeah, because she moves back and homegirl falls. But then when they get up to escort her out, I think she feels bad, so she goes to approach the lady, and that's when she turns around and like,
and attacks her.
goes
Right.
full demonic on her.
But yeah, she's like, you shame me.
You shamed
Oh,
me.
yeah.
You shamed me over and over again. And then they basically kick her out of the bank.
And her car, bro. Come on, we gotta talk about her car.
We're about to. So Christine leaves the bank, right? It's closing time. And she's in the parking garage where we see very, very obviously Mrs. Ganache's car. And it's the car from the Evil Dead.
It's the yellow car.
The
bro.
yellow car? Where is it? It's somewhere on this wall.
Somewhere.
Right there.
She stole it, bro.
This entire movie, I was like trying to find Easter eggs for Evil Dead and Spider-Man, and like seeing if I could see anything.
Well, it is.
I think that's the only
well,
one.
it is canon that they're in
Think so.
they're in the same universe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Sam Raimi came out and said they're in the same universe.
The Spider-Man or
No, the Evil
Dead
Dead
and Dragmetohell?
Dragmetohell, yeah.
Bro, so she did steal the car.
she might have. Let's see. So, you know what? Before Christine leaves, the boss basically gives her homework, right? It's a loan for that he wants her to work on, and he's like, hey, push, nudge, nudge. If you do this, maybe you'll be in a better place for the promotion. In my opinion, I think he's just saying that to get her to do the work after hours, but that's besides the point. Now we're in the parking lot. It's the car from the Evil Dead. Christine gets into her car, and you could hear Ms. Ganache coughing. And so she's like looking around, right? And it's like panning to see where she is.
It's like this empty, giant parking garage. I'm like, what bank is she working at? This is giant, empty parking garage. It's underground.
Yeah.
Not even outdoors.
When I rewatched it, I noticed that, and then like when she first parked, she has to like walk all the way down like a block just to get to the bank. I don't know why she didn't park. There's a lot at the bank.
Yeah, there's a lot at the bank in the front. You can see through the window because that's how she sees the car the first time.
But that's not for employees.
Then a handkerchief leaves the car.
The handkerchief from the teeth.
From the teeth, and it starts floating towards her car.
How can you not like this?
And then
I hate it because it's a CGI handkerchief. It is super CGI. Like it is like
It's okay.
bad CGI.
We'll take it for the handkerchief.
And then And then that's when we start to like pan, right? There's like a jump scare, and then the camera starts to pan, and then we go into the back seat, and then there she is.
She like fades out from the darkness.
And she attacks, and they essentially just fight, right?
With the car.
They fight with the car.
Crashes,
They're like, they like she staples her in the head.
Right on the eye, bro.
Right on the eye. There's a lot of
sickness.
Yeah, there was a bunch of like references to like they were like, oh yeah, it's like very Evil Dead-esque with fighting stuff. Like, well yeah, kind of, but I'm also like, I don't know, it just seemed kind of silly.
It's very over the top and unrealistic, like because homegirl takes like no damage. There's a point in time when like she flies over when they crash going forward, and she like hits her head and her dentures fall out on the dash. And she just sits back up like nothing.
She sits back up.
She gets the roller down the ruler down.
She looks at Christine and starts biting her with her gums.
She does, like her raw. And then she gets the ruler down the throat. She like coughs it back up. And
It's very
which isn't even the most ridiculous thing that happens throughout the movie, but because then she like doesn't Christine like kick her out of the car. It's very over the top, and this lady has turned like full demonic and is like indestructible basically.
Yeah. So just like Jordan's saying, Ganache gets kicked out of the car, then Christine like looks over, right, closes the door, whatever, and then she drags her out of the car. They tussle a little bit more until Ganache pulls a button off of Christine's coat, and she puts the curse on the button.
Yeah, and she brings up the entity Lamia?
Lamia, yeah. I think she wakes up, right? Ganache disappears as she wakes up.
Yeah, because she like fades out and then wakes back up. And she's still outside of the car.
She's still outside of the car. Justin Long shows up. The police are there, all that kind of stuff. Then we cut to Christine and Clay, and they're leaving a restaurant. And there's and this is a conversation about what just happened, right? So it's like, you didn't tell him this when y'all were at dinner. You waited until you're leaving the restaurant to let him know what happened. Yeah. And then they stop before they get into the car, and there's like a sign for a spirit advisor, right? And there's like wind and fog coming up.
Oh yeah, because the leaves like did a little.
And I think it's whispering or something. And so then Christine's like, I want to get my fortune told. And then Justin Long is like, let's see, you're going to be fine? Okay, cool, there you go.
Yeah,
let's go
He's
home.
a psychology guy, so you know, he's a little skeptic about everything.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I mean, regardless of if you believe in that stuff or not, I feel like if you see a shop that tells your fortune, you automatically assume that it's fake. For $60, though.
$60.
No, I just say plus gratuity.
Dude, for inflation, that's like $200 now.
They go inside, just like Jordan is saying, and there's the ad for the credit card, right? The credit card company, they stop on it.
Dude, he has like, I didn't realize this the first time, but there's like postcards with the guy like photoshopped on it. He has like a whole merch line in there.
They pay the $60, they go inside to get the fortune read. And here, there's, let's see, a couple things happen, right? As they're sitting down and pondering the orb, like you see some stuff starting to move in the background, and do we hear laughter at this point? No, right?
I don't remember. I know that stuff starts happening in the room. We also get
the shadows are growing.
Yeah, and the classic, like, at first the guy is kind of like asking questions and then changing his questions. It gives very much like okay, this guy's faking it.
Yeah. Eventually it stops because he actually sees the dark spirit coming to get her. He freaks out, and she's like, oh, what happened? And he's like, oh, there's a dark spirit, someone put a curse on you, that kind of stuff. So then we cut, and then now we're home pretty much. Where
does he go? He just drops her off, and where does he go?
Justin Long?
Yeah.
Probably home.
He does this later in the movie, and I'm like, bro, you didn't want to stay with her after she almost got like killed?
Nah.
Right? Nah. I got stuff to do.
She's cursed. Would you want to?
You're right.
So let's see. At this point, there's really not a whole lot going on, right? Oh no, she gets home, she starts hearing noises at home.
Is this just like a horror trope, or do people do this? I'm gonna ask y'all because y'all are homeowners. Why do people just have their windows open like at night when people can just see in?
We don't.
Okay,
That's not a thing.
because every horror movie ever, the windows are just like open, no curtains, no blinds. Like,
Didn't we just talk about this?
The Strangers.
The Strangers.
Oh.
It happens in The Strangers. It happens in
Everything.
You're Next. It happens in
Like,
The
what are we-
Orphan.
what
it
are we
happens
doing,
in-
man?
Yeah.
you're a single, or you live alone. You're just a woman with a cat, and you just leave your windows open.
They
like,
do establish she has a cat here. You're right.
But
She
yeah,
gets
this
it
is
back.
when we get the whole things start moving and noises start happening.
Mm-hmm. You get the evil wind blows and everything around starts to move around, and then it stops.
We get
And
the
power
gate
goes out.
creaking. Yeah.
And then this is where we get like some of the shadow stuff going on. The shadow attacks her, and the power's back on.
I think this is
The
another.
pans, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
the
this
pans
is
are-
another one spot where, again, just product of its time, where it's aged poorly, was like how much 2000s movies, because they were really bad, relied on jump scares so much to like get a rise. I honestly, I'd want to go back and I'm sure somebody's already done it, but like get a jump scare count on this one, because I felt like every like 30 seconds there was something that was jumping out to try to like. I'm like.
Before I
okay.
rewatched it, I remember it having a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
was
remember it being one of the movies that, funny enough, scared me as a kid because of the jump scares. And as an adult, like, I just don't. I feel like we might all agree on this, that in horror movies in general, I just don't really care for jump scares. Like,
Yeah.
unless it's like, I guess a few paranormal movies here and there, like, they're done well, but a lot of the times it kind of just comes across, especially in a movie like this, like, just cheesy when.
Well, they just do it so
It
much.
looks-
It's
yeah.
just it is very excessive.
Because then you just, like, okay, you get, like, you expect it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
But this scene had a bunch, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This is
Yeah, it
like-
did have a lot. So then Clay gets home, and he's saying that the noises that she heard was Mrs. Ganache.
He's like, oh, I'll call the police again, or like we'll go to her house or whatever.
Right, and she's like, no, it wasn't her, and I promise you that it wasn't her. And then he's like, I'm pretty sure it was.
Because then she's
he's
even like,
gaslighting
she's like,
her.
no, but nobody was here. Like things
Yeah.
were moving, but nobody was here. Isn't there a doctor there too, or something? Like, they basically try to convince her that it's like post-traumatic stress. Like she's just imagining the whole thing.
think so.
I'm pretty sure that is
Right.
this scene because she's like laying down, and it's this whole like,
Yeah.
it's this start of like, okay, he doesn't really believe anything she's going
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
After that conversation, after he's done gaslighting her, he says like, "Oh, hey, let's go to a cabin in the woods."
Right.
Which, I mean, if they're and now knowing that this one shares the same universe as Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods? Question mark.
Right.
So then we cut to her being asleep. A fly comes into the window, and this is supposed to represent, of course, the dark spirit, right? Like the whole one of like Satan's names is Lord of the Flies, which is where the title of the book comes from.
Right,
did
did like a
notice.
whole thing with the fly right for a second. Like,
Mhm.
Now, did they put a real fly up her nose? Is my If the fly was CGI, that was some good
that
CGI.
I said that was also like an
They
excessive.
trained the fly.
Yeah, that was an excessive scene too. Like that scene was like a good 2 minutes of just the fly just moving around
Yeah.
before it actually got on the face and went up. And I was like, okay, do something already. Like, let's go. Like,
But then she wakes up and Ganache is in the bed with her. That's not scary.
She had a dream in the dream, bro. Ganache was in the full like Deadeye makeup, bro.
Yeah, Deadeye makeup gets
With
on
the-
top of her. Or no, they're laying next to each other and she goes, "Bleh," and then
This movie
vomits
does
all
a
the
lot
maggots.
of like really gross stuff that I'm like, I don't know. Definitely was for like the reaction.
Yeah. So then we cut to the next day, and Clay drops her off at work. There's a fly buzzing around in her stomach, right? She gets IBS. And Stu's basically being a butt.
I hate Stu. I hate Stu.
He plays his character so well.
They
like,
hate.
he's supposed
He's
to.
probably one of the best. He probably plays one of the best characters in this movie. And then I don't want. They set it up for redemption, bro, and we didn't even get it. Oh my god. I like this scene. Adam probably hates it because I like it, but this whole scene, everything that's about to happen, I love it.
So they're sitting down, and they're sitting down at Christine's desk, right? And Stu has his hand on the desk, and Christine sees it as Ganache's hand, right? Doing like the whole
nasty,
yeah.
nasty nails.
yeah, like it's tapping. Each finger is tapping on the freaking table or whatever, and then she yells at Stu
does. She stands up and yells.
She yells at her, and then she starts spraying blood all over the place, right?
Oh, yeah,
the boss comes in to
Stu,
check out what's
Stu
going on.
like gets away and he, I don't know, Stu plays victim, bro, like crazy. But that's when the boss comes in. He's like, "Oh, you have blood," and she like looks down and looks back up, and it's just like full.
What do you always say? The Freddy versus Jason
Freddy
blood.
versus Jason, yeah.
Which she was holding her hand to her face. I feel like this was it had to have been practical. Like I'm pretty sure she's literally like.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because the way her hand
I'm
is.
just like, well, why?
No, but it was so it was so good though.
It was
It's so over
excessive.
the.
It was so
But
for
it makes
what?
her seem crazy.
It makes it. I feel like if that would have happened and somebody bled that profusely, I'm pretty sure they'd die. Like, what do you mean?
Bro, they got
What do you-
superpowers.
What do you mean?
It was good, bro. Come on.
It's good. Adam.
This is good slapstick. Come on. You like Army of Darkness?
I mean, yeah,
This
but
is
like,
good. Come on. This is good. We let 20
This
Bruce
is
Campbells
okay.
run around.
No. This was him. We knew at least of that movie we knew we were getting into when this man time traveled and the portal opened in a second. We were like, what do you mean?
I know
Like
what
that
you mean.
we did. Yeah, I was like, what?
When the tree grows a face, right? The second movie at the end of the second one.
You know, I didn't stop to consider why her nose was bleeding. I just enjoyed it. I don't know why. See, that's how she loses the promotion.
Yeah, the blood spraying all over the place.
The OSHA has him.
I think you'd get fired if you did.
So then she gets embarrassed and leaves. Is this the part where Stu steals the loan documents from her?
Yes.
desk?
Yes.
She walks out and she left
And
the
yeah,
stack.
Stu just-
He like
And he
sneaks it.
knows what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's Stu.
oh, okay.
He's
You're
Stu the
right.
nosy boy.
You're right. Your boy Stu. So then we jump to Ganesh's house, and Christine is there visiting. We see, of course, again, parked in the driveway is the Evil Dead car. And she goes to knock on the door, and the wind blows, just like Final Destination. But somebody else answers the door. We learn that it's her granddaughter.
Which she brought up during the loan scene where she
Yes.
was like, don't you have anybody that you can stay with? And she's like, I have my, granddaughter, but I don't want to burden her. Like, that's not.
Oh, because before she leaves, she also throws like her paperwork, which is I'm assuming where Homegirl found her address
Yeah.
at. Like,
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
She also hits like they have a little interaction, and is her name Christine?
The main character, yeah.
She's like, oh, like, it's not my fault, I just work there. Like, word for word, that's what she says, and I'm like...
Bro, you saw the movie twice and you forgot the main character's name?
Yeah. I was just looking at Justin Long the whole time.
Oh, okay.
For all 5 minutes of season
For all
Yeah.
5.
But yet it was the role of his career that, from Reddit, supposedly.
Yeah.
Barbarian's better, I'll say that.
He's good at Barbarian. So it's basically the whole thing about like, oh, can I come see her? No, you can't. But I want to apologize.
Yeah, I'll make it better,
Yes.
I promise I'll make it better.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she's like,
like,
okay, so then she
Okay,
goes
go ahead,
inside,
make it better. And
And
then she calls out her, like, used to be fat as a kid, right?
Yes!
I was really, just because they focused on that picture earlier on, and I don't know, there's been, like, fan conspiracies about, like, it being about eating disorders or whatever, but that hasn't been confirmed, and I don't necessarily believe that. I just don't understand why it's in the plot.
They tied it a lot because they said he also noticed, like, every time, and including this scene, that things happen, it involves, like, her mouth and, like, things. And
it really focuses on that a
And
lot.
that somebody had brought up, too, like, if you notice, she doesn't hardly eat in the movie, and the one time she does, which is, like, the ice cream, they bring up the whole, like, he's like, oh, I thought you're lactose intolerant. And she's like, oh, no, I think it's just okay this one time or whatever. But, like, so I guess that's why that subplot is there. Like, I would have to really go back and do a fine tune, but I'm like, okay. I'm like, but, like.
I saw those fan theories, and I just don't. Yeah, to me, I don't. Like, the only thing that makes me want to believe it is the fact that she looks at that picture of younger her earlier on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think it's.
But I think that's more so the whole confidence thing.
I don't think it's
that-
established enough.
Yeah, I think it's the whole confidence in her, like, breaking out
That
from
makes
being
sense.
that, like, kind of like mild-mannered personality.
And being from
Yeah.
the farm, and
Yeah.
like it kind of focuses on they make her past seem negative. But
Yeah.
So then she goes inside to see Miss Ganache.
She sees
and there's
her.
there's a party going on just for her to like turn around, and then she's talking to somebody or something like that, and then she turns around and trips and falls into her dead body.
Yeah, it like pans and then you see the photo and then she trips and the mouth thing happens again.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Her
she
dead,
Well, first of all, like the body is just out like on I guess a table or something. Not even and she like rolls over on top of her again. How that happens, I don't even know how that happens. And then the body just like vomits profusely in her mouth. Like,
Come on.
Okay.
I don't even know where that liquid came from.
If you look very
It's not
closely,
embalming fluid.
I don't know.
if you look very closely and you pause, the lady who plays the nun is one of the cameos in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if this was like pre or becoming famous.
I'm pretty sure this would have been before, at least before Conjuring.
Yeah.
It was like that's people were saying like, oh, this movie helped inspire the Conjuring stuff. I'm like, okay.
Which even then, I don't know. I would argue that like from a critic standpoint, I wouldn't say The Conjuring is a very impressive series. I don't know. Maybe the first few.
I'm gonna tell your wife.
No, I love them. I enjoy them. Like I know people hate on Devil Made Me Do It and the newest one. I really enjoyed both of them, but like if we're talking about like genre defining, like maybe the first two hold some kind of weight, but like
I think that it's the not to go off rail, but it's the ones that James Wan are involved with are the ones that are good. If it's not James Wan, if it's just associated with him, then no, it has to be him directing it for it to be good. Okay, continue.
Throws up all over her. I don't know if it's embalming fluid. I'm pretty sure when you get embalmed, they sew your mouth shut so that way.
So that doesn't happen.
Out.
But Homegirl's eyes also move. Like when they put her back on the thing, her eyes are like
they're all staring at Christine all the time.
And the girl tells her like, "You deserve everything that's coming to you."
Mm-hmm. So then we jump back to the fortune teller where Christine is told that she's being haunted by what was it again? The
Lamia.
Lamia. Then we get the lore dump that we got at the beginning of the movie, right during the opening credits. That she has 3 days, or the Lamia is going to come and then the Lamia is going to come and take you. So she's like, "What can I do?" And he says, "Well, I guess you can try offering a blood sacrifice, right?" So then...
Oh, she says she's a vegetarian in this
Yeah.
scene too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, oh, like a small animal, like a chicken or something.
Yeah, she's like, "No, I'm a vegetarian. I wouldn't harm a fly." And then we jump... we jump to Christine at home where she has the book about blood sacrifices. And then we hear some weird noises, and again we're panning around the house, and then you see the devil goat in the shadow, right? And it jumps up at her. She starts running upstairs, and the shadow comes upstairs. She locks herself in her room.
This is good.
I think I agree with Jordan here. She locks herself in her room just for the shadow to come under the door.
You see like the hooves land, and then the hands like...
Mm-hmm. Those are the Nosferatu hands.
Yeah.
And then basically the shadow picks her up, the window explodes.
I didn't mind this. I know Adam's about to hate on it. I didn't... no, but like them flying in the... I actually really like this. I didn't mind this.
She gets picked up by her hair.
Everything's like
around.
spinning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excessive.
It's another one of those like apparently nobody in this movie except I mean the old lady died, so maybe she did take damage. We never find out like why or how, but like yeah, like Christine gets thrown like into dresser's not the proper word for it, but like wardrobe, yeah, and then she just like she gets up and
she gets up and dusts
like,
off her
and this is like the 2000s, like that wardrobe had to have been made from real wood, and it just like shatters and just get back up, pretend like it didn't happen.
And then she grabs a knife and starts looking at the cat. Then we jump to the next scene where she's burying the cat and Clay gets home. And what does he say? He's like, "Oh, what's that blood on you?" And she's like, "I don't have any blood on me. What are you talking
Bro,
about?"
out of everything she could say, tomato juice.
Tomato juice.
That's when he's like, maybe we shouldn't go to my parents tonight.
Yeah. So then but they end up going anyways, and they're meeting the parents, or at least Christine's meeting the parents, and it's this big mansion.
It is, and they have a cat. This is when we get that. She says, "I had a cat." Justin Long, what a great guy. Says, what do you mean have? It's good. That's a good interaction. They do have a really big mansion, and you can tell the dad seems kind of like understanding and kind, but you can tell the mom is like
She's snooty.
She's snooty for sure. Even she like looks at the like Kate Christine brought, and she's like, "Oh, is that something from the farm?" Like, bro, the disrespect.
So then they're starting to have dinner. And they're talking about, normal small talk conversations. But while that's going on, Christine's starting to hear weird noises around the house. Eventually, and it's coming from a specific, like, closet door, right?
With no knob on it. I don't even know what that door is. It's just there.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, they serve the cake that Christine had bought, and then it goes into, like, right? Where they're at the Chinese restaurant.
Moving, and the cake's moving.
There's an eye that grows out of the cake. And then
stabs it, it's bleeding, and then we get like the cutout, not her perspective, where like there's no blood anymore, but you can see the fork like wiggling in the cake.
And then there's the part that grossed me out is that they zoom in on like the mouths of these people as they're eating, and food grosses me out. So like seeing that, I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Until a fly starts coming around and she starts choking on it, right? Or is it coming out from...
It comes out from in her. I'm pretty sure it's like intended to be the fly from whatever, 2 days ago.
And she coughs it out, and then everybody starts freaking out.
Yeah, the mom gets like... Is this pre her like throwing stuff? Did she throw stuff after this?
It happens right after this.
Oh, okay. Because the mom's like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the first L that gets taken in this scene. Coughs out a whole fly, bro.
Throws the cup at the door and it shatters and she's freaking out.
She's hearing noises, yeah. She does basically what she did to Stu, where she like gets up and yells. Yeah.
This isn't gold, Adam?
This is pretty good, man. This is cooking. I'm feeling good.
So then they basically leave, right? We jump back to the fortune teller. Here, she's like, "Hey, yo, the blood sacrifice didn't work. Like, I need something else."
I know, and then this guy's like, "Well, I never said it would work." This is one of those like, this guy's. It's weird because we get this juggle of like, he comes across shady, but then some of the things he's saying is legit. Like, I don't know. It's an interesting, because even like with where we're about to hit, like the whole money situation. It's just very like, I don't know. He's like not trustworthy. Like, I don't know. Odd guy.
So basically what Jordan's alluding to is that he says he knows somebody that can help her the next day. Because I think at this point, this is her second day, right?
Yeah.
So her next day, which would be her third day, but they need $10,000 in cash.
10,000, bro. You know how much money that is? It's a lot of money.
So yeah, $10,000 in cash, and then we cut back to the bank.
She robs the bank.
Then she robs the bank. Christine goes to the boss and she's like, "Hey, yo, so I know I don't have that promotion yet, but can I get a pay advance with that salary?"
She's basically saying like for the like. Essentially, it's implied like, yeah, I know I'm gonna get it. Can I have the pay now? After last time she saw this guy, she bled profusely.
She made a biohazard. To which his reply is like, "Yo, we lost the loan to another bank, and it sounds like you're not up for it anymore. That Stu is the one who's gonna be getting the loan back, so you're gonna be losing out the promotion to him." And she's like, "What? No, that's crazy." So then we cut to home. There's a lot of cuts. Like,
there's a lot of cuts, yeah.
And she's basically packing her stuff in a suitcase. Packing up stuff in her suitcase. She ends up in like a shed or a basement, and then an arm pops out of her mouth. Right? Ganache
like comes out and like shoves her whole arm.
Oh, that's
like,
what it is. You're right. There's a jump scare. She
another jump
moves
scare.
the curtains, and then that's when she comes out, and then they tussle for
whole
a little
arm
bit.
like elbow deep, and then because she had just grabbed the rollerblades, and then there just happens to be a whole ass like
anvil,
and a whole anvil hanging. It like pans to the rope. Like, why is it there? Because it has to be there. That's why.
It's very cartoony.
They cut it.
Literally cartoony.
This is so cartoony, and it is one of the best scenes in the movie. And Adam's not a fan. Like, hits her on the head, and her whole The eyes were questionable. The CGI on this was questionable, but her whole head like squishes.
And her eyes pop out.
And a bunch of other like it's like the eyes with more material. I don't know if it was like the inners of her skull or what.
I told Adam that if this movie wasn't made in the 2000s, like if it was made in the 80s or 90s, then they would have the what's the large Marge effects.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I don't know. I appreciate how committed it is to being completely unrealistic and over the top.
And then I think she like comes out of the trance, right? And everything is back to normal.
Yeah, it's just empty. Yeah,
it's just empty.
The anvil's still there. The anvil is real. Why? I don't know.
She takes everything to the pawn shop. They offer her $3.8K for everything, and then she's like, okay, whatever. Then we cut again to the house, and Clay walks in, and he says that he paid the fortune teller, right? And he's very like, hey, I don't really believe what's going on, but you do, and that's important to me.
I want to support you, so he gave like probably a fourth of his salary.
So then, let's see. So then Clay drops Christine off.
He does it again. He just leaves her, bro.
Yeah,
he had no interest.
Well, for this one, he even says, right, like, do you want me to go inside with you? And she says, no, they said only I can go.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that. Because it gives very much like, yeah, I don't believe, but also I don't want anything to do with this.
The other thing, too, is, like, they show us so much stuff that I think is kind of unnecessary, or that, like, the scenes are really short.
It's really short, and it's a lot of circular, like, workhouse, random place, workhouse, like...
Right. So, like, at what point did Christine tell Clay that she needed 10K, and then why... Like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of, like, time cuts that are, like, missing, so to say. And I think that this might just be, like, one of the shortcomings of committing to, like, specifically following her and only seeing, like, X amount of her interactions.
Yeah. So then it's, we cut, like I said, it's the opening house from the movie. And then we get introduced to Sean Sandina. She's the medium from the beginning of the movie. She has basically like PTSD from what had happened, right? And she's basically trying to redeem herself. So the people that are in the house are Christine, the fortune teller, Sean, and then some random guy.
Yeah. The goat handler, I don't know.
The goat handler. So then they basically get the house tour where they find out that Sean's husband built the house there because it had a, and I quote, particular confluence of forces which allow a doorway to be opened through which we may pass and others as well. So it's like, okay, cool. So it just has spirit energy here, I guess.
It just has spirit energy. Even Christine hits like it's later on, but another one of, she does have a lot of lines that I'm like, I don't know if we're just playing into her being not very intelligent sometimes. Like she has to like, I'm scared. She said this so like monotonously, like I don't know. Some of the lines are questionable. Some of the dialogue is like, it's just there to fill space. And
yeah.
It is.
So then they end up in like this big old, I don't even know, what would you call it? Like the fucking chamber? Chamber of Secrets?
When the spirits show up, this gave me, in the worst way possible, like, bro, am I watching Haunted Mansion? What's going on? I'm waiting for the floating orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like, yeah, there's other spirits in here, and you have bad CGI.
You see him like, that's
really bad.
That was tough.
They lead a goat in while they're sitting at like the table right in the middle of the room.
Okay, they basically tell Christine, like, whatever happens, like, you gotta trust us. And the goat comes in, and then the main lady, like, pulls out a knife.
The big old machete.
So it's like, we're gonna trap the ghost and then kill it while it's a goat.
Yeah. So then they basically start this ritual. They light candles, turn off the lights. Then this is when Sean pulls out the machete and prays over it. Then she says that the spirit will go into Sean. She'll put her hand on the goat, and then the spirit will be transferred into the goat, and then they'll kill the goat. So when the ritual starts, just like y'all are saying, a bunch of other spirits start showing up. They have to say, the people at the table have to say, we welcome the dead into, I welcome the dead into my soul. Of course, things start going haywire, right?
Not a very smart thing to say.
The spirits go into Sean. She transferred it over to the goat, but then before they can kill the goat bites the random dude, so then the spirit goes into the random dude, and then he starts floating in the middle of the table.
So, doing like a dance? I don't know.
Fortnite emotes, yeah.
And then he throws up the cat, bro.
He does
Such a good
throw up
moment.
the cat. What did
Adam,
she say?
come on.
She says, "I killed my cat for you," and she throws it up. It's like, "Here, you can have it back."
Yeah. The wet cat. The wet, stiff cat.
So they and then after that, they wake up Sean, who starts to banish the spirit. And then the dude, like, floating in the middle of the room, this red smoke starts to dissipate from his mouth.
Pretty sure it forms like a goat head for a brief second
I think
before
so,
it like
yeah.
fully.
I didn't notice that. Okay, cool. And then everything starts to calm down, and then Sean dies.
She just like fades out. Like
They try doing like chest compressions, right? But at that point, it's like too late. So then we cut to nighttime, and they are loading up Sean's body, and Christine is talking to the fortune teller, and they're basically like conversing here. And he says, "No, or Christine's like, oh, it's all done, it's over." And he's like, "No, lady, like, you don't understand that." The spirit can't be banished by a medium. That's our lesson for today. And I was like, bruh, they just wasted $10,000.
yeah, who got the money? Hold on, if she died, who got the money? Like, but yeah, it's like she thinks because, like, obviously the goal was to kill the goat with it, like to physically kill it.
That's what he meant. That's how he meant it. Was that?
But it's too powerful, basically. Like,
Well, no. I thought he meant the plan didn't work because it didn't get into the goat for them to kill it because the guy missed.
Correct. So what he's saying, yeah, like what we learned is like right. If you don't physically kill it, like there's
then that's why it was like we just banished it for like a little while.
Because she's telling this whole story of like, oh, on her last day of being alive, 40 years later, she finally completed her story or whatever, and he's like, yeah, no, you're wrong. No, actually, you're still cursed.
Yeah.
And this is when he finally decides to tell her that she could have gifted it to somebody else this whole time.
Yeah. So the button has the curse. Christine's the owner of the button. So at the end of the 3 days, what was the name of the spirit again?
Lamia.
The Lamia is gonna come and get whoever is the owner for the button. And just like Jordan's saying, this is where he decides to tell her, hey, you can gift it to somebody.
Because he's like, oh, I didn't want to morally tell you that before because I felt like blood would be on my hands. But like, bro, her blood's gonna be on your hands, you know? Because earlier on, like when they first interact in one of the first scenes, he mentions like, oh, you can't burn it or anything because it'll still belong to you. Like, it doesn't matter what state it's in.
Yeah.
But not once does he mention that she could have given it to somebody else. Like, maybe Stu. Maybe Stu should get it.
Maybe. So, then we cut again. We're in the car with Clay and Christine, and they almost run over somebody. Right, I think at first it's Ganache, right, and then it morphs into the person who it actually is, and he, instead of pointing at the driver, he's pointing at Christine, and he's like, "You're going to hell."
Yeah, he was
right. Spoiler alert.
Psychic, bro.
And so basically, what happens here is that they drop Christine off at home. And then he says that they're going to meet at the train station at 7:30, so that way they can go to whatever cabin they're going to go to. We're at a coffee shop, and Christine is looking for a potential victim.
Oh, sorry, just to reverse real quick. It's important to note that she put the button in an envelope, and when it almost hit the guy, everything like falls and gets all mixed up.
Yeah, she puts the button in the envelope. And everything in her purse, right? Like on her person.
It falls on the floor or whatever when they have to slam on the brakes.
Right. So then she picks up. She's panicking, and then she finally finds the envelope, picks it up. She's at the coffee shop. She's looking for a victim. She can't decide on who to basically put the curse onto, and so she calls Stu, and she's like, "Hey, either you're gonna come down here, or I'm gonna rat you out." Because I know what you did. Yeah. And in my mind, I was like, well, how does she know? Like,
I don't know how she found out, or like,
because she never went back to the bank, right? Or
it must have been one of the things we didn't see. I don't know. Like, I don't. Yeah, we never find out how she knows or like any hint of that.
Yeah. So then Stu shows up and he's all in a panic. And he's
like begging for, like, he's so paranoid. Like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'll do anything. Please don't tell.
Yeah, and she's like, you are gonna take this envelope I got a gift for you. You're gonna take it and you're gonna like it. And he's like, oh, okay. So then she's like, actually, on second thought, just grab my
Bro,
face.
out of everybody to give it to, Stu deserved it. We all knew Stu deserved it. Anybody watching this movie wanted Stu to take it, bro.
Yeah. So then she's like, nah, it's okay. She sees, as when he walks away, she's looking at a newspaper. The newspaper has the obituary for Miss Ganache. And then we come back to the fortune teller, and he's like, oh, hey, by the way, you could also gift things you can technically gift things to dead people.
No, I think she prods that question.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she's the one that prods it because she wanted to give it to all those people at the diner and just couldn't pull the, proverbial trigger on it, right? She just couldn't because the old man, right? His wife came.
Oh, yeah.
Like the last minute, yeah.
And then Stu, she couldn't. She even thought the waitress that was being rude to her. It's like,
Okay, she's like the lady's telling her something, being snarky, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Keep doing that. I'll give you a tip. You'll remember."
yeah, threatens her with an envelope.
We're driving in the car with Christine.
Who drives her? Is she driving herself?
She's driving herself.
Oh, okay.
And there's a jump scare with the handkerchief again.
Let's
it has
go.
Ms.
The
Ganache's
CGI.
face.
It won't go away, bro.
And then it somehow gets pulled into the car, right? Into the cabin, and then it
doesn't
starts
choke
attacking
her.
her.
Yeah, what the heck?
She tries to pull it out of her mouth as she's driving, and then she ends up crashing at the graveyard.
Jeez.
So then I don't know how quickly she does it, but somehow within 10 minutes she finds Ganache's grave and
Digs up the whole thing.
digs up the whole thing.
All
And
6
a
feet of
perfectly
it.
symmetrical rectangular assortment.
And it did not look like 6 feet. I just want to say. I don't think that was a 6-foot grave.
How'd she
but-
get out of there?
Did she?
I
I guess she could have floated out after a certain point.
Wait,
Wait,
see
who?
her? Oh,
Ganache?
No,
Or...
no, the main character.
'Cause she-
Oh, because it... Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, yeah, we're about to get to
did
it.
she fight the handkerchief? Because I know again when she's out of the car, she's like stomping on it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she
Like, it,
rips it.
dies,
She,
like, you hear
rips
it.
She rips it. It's like
It's like making noises. Yeah.
So then she digs up the grave. She basically says, hey, I'm gonna give you this envelope and you're gonna like
and it
it.
just happens to start raining as she's at the bottom.
She shovels them out, then she shoves the envelope, and then she kicks them out.
And with this rain, it happens to just flood perfectly. By the time
Yeah.
I'm like, how fast does this rain flood? I don't think it's gonna flood that fast.
it floods in the span of 10 seconds.
Yeah,
15
and
seconds.
it fills the grave, right? And
And she shoves it in her mouth, the skull. Because she tried to put it somewhere else and it didn't work, so she just
in her hand.
Yeah, and it didn't work, so she was just literally.
Okay, she
cracked
grabs
open-
her hair, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cracks open the jaw and just
and shoves it in there.
Yeah.
And then, just like you're saying, the grave starts filling with water. She floats to the top, and then the tombstone for this.
She's
lady
trying to climb out. The tombstone falls. It makes a loud ass noise, and Christine goes under for another 10 second span, and then pops back out like nothing.
She's also finding Ganache's body off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when she tries to leave it, grabs her hair. Because I will say in every fight that she's had with Ganache or every experience, she pulls parts of her hair out.
Yeah.
She's like, that's the last time you're gonna pull my hair.
Yeah. It's this constant, at this point in the movie, it's been, just this constant, okay, the movie could end here.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna,
It's not
okay,
gonna.
Christine gifted her the thing, but wait, now we gotta pretend like she's about to drown.
Yeah.
But wait.
I don't know if this is what they were going for, but this scene really reminded me of, I don't know if it's a panel or a comic cover, but the one of Spider-Man when he's
Yeah.
in the black symbiote suit, right? He's
Yeah.
coming out from the grave. And I'm pretty sure it's the same tombstone. It's a big old cross, and it's raining.
Right, not the reference in Drag Me to Hell. Out of all
It's a
movies.
Spider-Man reference,
I
dude.
respect
Yeah, it's so
it.
good. I'll put a screenshot up on the YouTube video. So she eventually gets out, and I do like the transition here where she's being rained on, and then it transfers into her being in the shower washing it off,
Washing off all that
gunk,
dead dirt.
dead dirt.
I mean, she literally was underwater. She literally probably drank a good half a gallon.
How did she get? Did her car fully crash, or is it still
No,
I
I think
don't know.
she just
I'm just imagining her getting in her car drenched, driving back,
muddy.
tracking
Yeah.
mud everywhere. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
And then we get she gets a phone call. She's not able to answer it, right, because she's getting out of the shower, and it's her boss basically saying that Stu confessed to everything, to stealing the file and then giving it to the other bank, and then basically like he was gonna pin it on her, but then he started breaking down, and so the promotion's hers when she comes back from vacation. So he's like, okay, cool. So then we're at the train station, and Justin Long is waiting for her. She's taking her time.
She
buys a new jacket. I have no clue why. I don't know why. It's supposed to signify a new life, a new timeline.
I think so, yeah.
They're going on a train to do it.
Yeah. And then she goes to Justin Long, and she's like, oh, hey, hi, how are you? That kind of stuff. And he's like, oh, hey, you forgot this in my car.
Okay, she mentions a new jacket, and he's like, oh, speaking of, like...
And he pulls out an envelope that has the button. Bro.
He zooms in on it.
And they zoom in on it, and she starts freaking out and steps backwards into the train tracks and falls into the train track.
I remember this is funny, because again, I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. I remember the first time I saw this ending, bro. I mean, what an ending. Which I'm pretty sure the opening credits finish off with like an illustration of this exact, like,
do they?
Somebody being dragged down. Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of, you know, I guess that's the whole plot in the intro too. Like,
yeah.
It is the inevitable finish.
So Clay goes over to the end of the rail, or the end of the side walkway or whatever, tries to like get her out, but the train is coming too fast.
They're like going over her.
Yeah. And it's going over her as she's being, dragged into hell. And then she gets dragged into hell, the hole covers up, and then the movie ends.
We get title card again. All I'm saying is Sam Raimi mentioned in like 2023 that they were going to try to make a sequel to this.
A sequel?
I need a Justin Long-led sequel. Now he has Did this make him the owner of the button?
No, because he gave it to her. She
So
never
it's still
gifted
hers.
it. She never gifted it.
So what's it going to do with the sequel, bro?
I don't know, man, but that was Drag Me to Hell.
I mean, I feel like a 7.5 is fair. It's generous, but it's not a bad movie. It's not an amazing movie.
That's the problem, is that whole 2000s was filled with, oh, it's not bad, and that's what we accepted as like, oh, that means that it's good because it's just not bad.
Except, was The Mist the 2000s movie?
It was.
The Mist was actually lower than 28 weeks later.
That's crazy.
It was lower than 28 weeks.
That's crazy.
It was that ending. People weren't ready for that ending.
The Mist has probably been like the best 2000s movie I've seen. Honestly, like that I can recall off the top.
Oh, I lied. It was 28 days.
Okay.
The Hills Have Eyes just barely edged out The Mist.
What the
But yeah, like as I go to the Eden Lake,
I'm sorry, 28 Days should not be above The Mist.
Inside the Sweeney Todd TV version, not even the movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Let's see what else. The Ring was 34, and that's like perfect example. Like The Ring was okay for the time.
Yeah.
But like looking back, it's like it wasn't really that good of a movie, Like I thought the effects were pretty good, like the faces at the.
All I remember is the TV. That's
the
literally
Descent. I never finished watching The Descent. The Mothman Prophecies. Was that a Fallout movie?
I have no idea. That would have been before.
28 weeks later was 46.
46.
And then to round out close to 50, the Uninvited Guest was 48. 49 was The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And then 50 was 5150 Elms Way. Just beating out the, was it Poughkeepsie tapes? Poughkeepsie, there we go, I can't say it. That's crazy. That is the top. 56, Silent Hill, with a meta score of 31 out of 100.
That's bad. Honestly...
If that's making the top 100, Cloverfield 62, The Others 63, Freddy vs. Jason 64.
This is showing me that I feel like the 2020s have been really good for horror. Just in general. Like,
One missed call 67.
I think once we hit 2014 is when we really.
Well, because I think the problem was, and again, going back to this was in the age of the PG-13 horror.
And this movie was PG-13.
It was PG-13. And I feel like they didn't really like push the limits per se, because it's really not gore. It was just like, just see how like gross we can make certain scenes be, just for the sake of.
This was definitely like everything had this 2000s like filter to it, like the way they'll say like music genres or like bands or whatever will sell out. This was like the sellout era of horror movies of like, let's try to make these popular things that like kids can watch. So yeah, I mean, ultimately I think if you're watching Sam Raimi movies, I feel like I still am standing by I wouldn't delete it. I don't think it like tarnishes, I don't want to say legacy, but like I think it's a positive contribution to his filmography. But yeah, like if we're listing memorable movies, this isn't like some kind of great achievement. It is what it is.
Memorable for the
I enjoy
time
it.
is the thing.
When the bar is pretty damn low for the 2000s.
Yeah, for the 2000s, it is pretty bad for the 2000s. Even like, there was some 90s ones that were also really bad, if we're being 100% honest. Like, the 80s, I think I've said this already, the 80s I feel like was like a certain peak, and then the 90s kind of, there's always going to be a few hits here and there.
The end of the 90s.
But like, it was just a huge decline. The 2000s kind of picked up with the PG-13 era, but it wasn't like great. They were just like, okay. Like, they were just like, okay. I could go to the movies and watch that and say, oh yeah, that was kind of cool, but nothing that's like, I need to go watch it 15 different times.
But this is better than Doctor Strange Multiverse. Send Help's also really good. Much better than this movie, I will say that. 100% better than that. I think that has like slapstick that you'll actually find like enjoyable and funny and not too much. But yeah, we got out of the way. Drag Me to Hell.
So that was Drag Me to Hell. The next movie that we're going to be covering is going to be a viewer request. So we're going to go ahead and cover the Candyman 1992.
I've never seen this.
Neither have I. So looking forward to that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We would really appreciate it. But until then, y'all have a good day.